Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, hosting Cruz, and Abdullah Mason, ladies and gentlemen, has yet again delivered an electrifying, sensational performance on his biggest test to date, best opponent to date. In veteran Jeremiah Nakatilia, who came in with a record of 26 wins, 4 losses, 21 knockouts, who's been in there with Shakur Stevenson, Raymond Morataya, Ernesto Mercado, and now recently, moments ago, Abdullah Mason, who is, in my opinion, the hottest, most electrifying, exciting prospect in boxing. He's not a prospect anymore, actually. I need to stop saying that. He has graduated. He graduated tonight to contender status. You know, he came into the fight ranked number 2 by the WBO. But tonight, in my eyes, he became a contender. He defeated his biggest test, his biggest opponent, he passed his biggest test. He defeated a familiar name. And a veteran that came in with punching power. And in the fight, I was a bit worried because, you know, like I said in the fight, in my past video about this fight, about Mason. Mason is vulnerable to getting dropped. Yes, he gets up, but he ain't get hit by firepower. The type of firepower that Nakatilia was coming in with. And in the beginning of the round, the fight, even throughout the fight, not just the first round, you could have seen that you could tell that Nakatilia has hard power in his fists. You know, when he would touch Mason on his guard and hit him here and there, you can tell, even when nothing is landing flush, he's heavy-handed. And kudos to the defense of Mason to get away from those bombs and heavy hands of Nakatilia, and to be able to land his shots and box smart and, you know, pick his time where he can hit the gas and attack and he did. You know, throughout the fight, the balance of Nakatilia was not there. But he was always dangerous. You know, that fight, Nakatilia has fight-ending power. So Mason couldn't get careless, couldn't get reckless, couldn't get too greedy. He had to be careful. But he was defensively sound. He boxed smart. And in the process, he was still able to deliver typical Abdullah Mason performance. Exciting, filled with hard shots, explosivity, staying in the pocket. And that's the thing with this fight and Mason, he was not afraid to get hit by Nakatilia. He was standing right in his chest and firing away with Nakatilia, ducking, slipping Nakatilia's big shots to land his own. And it was just successful graduation. So Abdullah Mason, not only he turns in a sensational performance like always, but he's now a contender for the WBO title, the same title that Keyshawn Davis lost on the scale because due to coming in 4 pounds over the weight limit for his fight with Edwin de los Santos. So Abdullah Mason stole the show once again. Not only he stole the show twice, he stole the show from Keyshawn Davis, took his main event spot, and then he also stole the show in the ring. So congratulations to Abdullah Mason, man, one of the most exciting fighters in boxing today. The best. He's not a prospect anymore. I've been saying a prospect from the beginning, but he's a contender. He is now a contender. 19-0 with 17 knockouts, and likely next to fight for the world title. Oh, and another thing about this night of boxing, Keyshawn Davis, man, who's an Olympic silver medalist, very talented fighter. Um, Comes to fight, talks trash, knows how to sell a fight. Very exciting. But tonight, man, this whole thing with this card was just a disaster for the Davis family. I mean, Kylon Davis, I think that's his name, the taller one, the older brother. He was the co-main event tonight, and he took a beating. He took a beating in this fight in that co-main. Um, and then on top of that, Keyshawn Davis, of course, we all know he didn't fight because he missed weight by four. He was over 4 pounds. And so yeah, Kelvin Davis, Nahir Albright lost to Nahir Albright by majority decision. Now I thought they were going to rob Albright. You know, they're in their hometown of Norfolk, Virginia. This card was all about the Davis. And one judge had it 95-95, and I'm like, what the hell? Now Albright won all rounds except for maybe one maybe. But Albright was the right. At least they got it right. They got the right. They got the winner right. The scorecards were ridiculous. Majority decision. This was supposed to be a unanimous. So anyway, Derek Davis. Well, Derek Davis won his fight by knockout, and Keon Davis also. He won his fight. But Kelvin Davis, co-main event, he lost for the first time in his career. He is now 15-1. And like I said, Keyshawn Davis didn't fight because he did not make weight. And I think it happened right after the fight between Davis and Albright. Davis went to the back. Albright was behind there already, I guess. And for some reason, I don't know what happened. I don't know what started it, but a fight broke out backstage between Keyshawn Davis, Kelvin Davis, and Nahir Albright. And Keyshawn Davis was already not professional by not making weight, losing the title on the scale. People bought tickets to come and see him fight. So he already disappointed fans. He already disappointed the media and all that stuff. And now here comes Keyshawn. Just go from bad to worse. Here comes Keyshawn now getting into a scuffle with Nahir Albright, who just defeated his brother in the co-main event. I guess somebody can't take a loss. So they got heated behind there, and Keyshawn and Kelvin, I want to assume his brother, based on what it looked like in the camera in the video on Top Rank on ESPN, Keyshawn was fighting with his brother Kelvin. I guess not he Albright, because Kelvin fought Albright. So yeah. It was a scuffle behind there backstage, and it was chaos. And so Keyshawn didn't make weight. He lost the title. That's bad. And now this is bad. So from bad to worse, Keyshawn just keeps looking horrible and horrible and horrible. Even Tim Bradley said he lost a fan in me, man, because you don't do that in boxing. That's at the caliber of your level as a fighter. You know, you already had a bad day a bad day yesterday by not making weight. You lost your title, something you work hard for, and now tonight you jump with your brother to fight to jump. You help your brother jump a fighter Dude, because he beat your brother up. No sportsmanship, nothing. It's just crazy. And I've always been impressed with Keyshawn. You know, I said Keyshawn is going to be something, this and that, and he became world champion. You know, he proved me right. He lived it up. He lived up to his expectations. But he is things haven't been looking good, man, lately. You know, yesterday was bad, and now today is bad. So what was supposed to be the Davis show turned into the shit show for the Davis family. You know, it is what it is. I hope, man, this is gonna be a hard comeback for Keyshawn Davis, for him, his fans, because this weekend was just a travesty, a disaster for him. But tonight was all about Abdullah Mason, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm glad Abdullah Mason got what he got tonight, man. He got the main event spot. He looked sensational. He's in line for the title shot. And I say all that because Keyshawn was talking a lot of shit to Abdullah Mason leading up to the fight at the press conference. Oh, I'm going to knock Edwin Santo out. When I knock Edwin out, we can fight next. Knowing that he's not going to make weight the next day. Not thinking he's going to lose his title. Well, the thing is, in title fights, when you do not make weight and you're the champion, the title gets taken off of you. And the title will be on the line for the challenger only. But in this case, because you're 4 pounds over the weight limit, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Not like you came in a half a pound overweight. You came in 4 pounds. Thinking that you're going to just go in there and take advantage of Edwin de los Santos and Samson Lukowicz, who's one of the best managers in the sport, said, nah, we're not going to do this. We're going to head out. We're not going to fight this guy. He's unprofessional. 4 pounds over the weight limit is ridiculous. And we're going to make the right call, which is no fight. Edwin de los Santos got paid in full, as he should. He bust his ass in training. He sacrificed. And he has the right to be paid. Keyshawn doesn't. Didn't make weight. Didn't make the sacrifice. As the professional fighter that he is. And the world champion. So it is what it is. So yeah, man. Just a travesty and a disaster night for the Davis family. But for Abdullah Mason, it turned into a sensational night. Could have happened to a nicer guy, unlike Keyshawn, who's a hothead, who has all the talent in the world, man. But just I don't know. This weekend was just not a good look for him. You know, it's gonna be It's gonna be hard to bounce back from this. But let's see what happens. But yeah, Abdullah Mason defeats Jeremiah Nakatilia. Very impressive performance against a solid opponent. And this is what you want from Abdullah Mason. You know, he's living up to his expectations. And tonight was graduation. He's went from prospect to contender. And hopefully we can see him go from contender to champion. Miracle Boy Boxing. I'm your host, and Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.